And real quick, my sister, no, I'm not smoking that old weed. I did that when I was in my 20s. I don't smoke no kush. I don't smoke any of that. CBD is the medicinal part of marijuana, which was grown by the Most High. It has no THC in it. THC is what gets you high. In Chicago, CBD can be purchased at Walgreens, CVS, any store that you go into, at pharmacies. CBD is meant to relieve pain. I have to have back surgery in December, and I refuse to take and put man-made medication in my system. I think CBD would help a lot of content creators. It's a calming effect from our natural. Before you pray to the Most High, there was always a ritual of herbs that were grown by the Most High, that were drank, so that your mind and your spirit can connect with the Most High. That is so popular now that white people are going over to Africa because they want to experience and they want to connect. And it's only done by shamans who make up the brew and who sit with you. It's about a 3-day process. You throw up, you have diarrhea, because what you're doing is cleansing your spirit. You're cleansing all that negativity and all that negative energy out of your spirit. The same way when people detox their colon or they get a colonic, you're cleansing your intestines. And if you look at the intestines and the way that they're made exactly like the brain. That is why in the Muslim world, the first thing that they teach you is how to eat properly. Because if you're not eating properly, you're not thinking right. It's all connected. That's the very first thing they work on, is your diet. The same way in Buddhism. When you are first shakabuku, the first question they ask is, in the springtime, when you turn on a water hose, what's the first thing that comes out? Well, the average person will say water. But the first thing that comes out is all the dirt and soot that collected in the water hose during the time it wasn't used. So you have to cleanse out all the dirt and the soot. And humans, we have to cleanse our bodies. in order for our thoughts and that third eye to open. This is not a sitcom. I'm very serious. I see dysfunction. I see people that don't know themselves. I see people that I really feel sorry for, that they don't recognize the power of the American Africans' minds. We were ordained with these minds. Yes, we once spoke telepathically. And if you keep up with the media, they are now returning back to that. Telepathic communication. That when you encounter someone, you don't have to use words. There's a series of books called the Celestine Prophecies, where it explains to you that there's no such thing as coincidence. That when you meet someone with eye-to-eye contact, they either have a message to pass on to you, or you have a message to pass on to them. Man was made without speech. Again, we only use one third of the brain. That, again, if you search, you will find the Asiatic blacks. They're monks that stay in a monastery, that are not connected to the world. They pray, they study, and because they're using more than 1/3 of their minds, they are actually able to levitate. That they sit in a yoga position on a pillow, and they just start bouncing up and down until they bounce so high, because they are not of the world. So you can be in the world, but you don't have to be of the world. And a lot of people don't know how to separate. In this life, you gotta be in the world, or you'll become a hermit in your home. But you don't have to be of the world. As you start researching how man first prayed, he always used what the Most High put on this earth in order to put their minds in a state where they can connect with the Most High. So no, I'm not on no ooh-wee. I'm not on no kush. I don't drink alcohol because it clearly states spirits. And your natural spirit given to you by the Most High was not meant to be mixed with man-made spirits. Cocaine was used to heal. When you go to the dentist and they give you that shot of Novocaine, there's a derivative of cocaine. When you have people that are terminally ill, like most cancer patients, and they get into hospice because of the pain, they are given morphine, which is derived from the opium plant, which people abuse as heroin. Again, Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it. Cough syrup used to have cocaine in it. Women that had PMS used to have cocaine in it. But Sigmund Freud abused it. My mother is an antique dealer. She still has bottles from the 1800s. Of course, they're empty, that show the percentage of cocaine that was in damn near everything from cough drops, you name it, it had cocaine in it. But as man normally does, we abuse it. The question is why is the United States using American soldiers to sit and protect the opium plant? Why are people here in Chicago dying in double digits who have a heroin addiction? Because they're putting fentanyl in it. So when I tell you that I studied this platform, that all of this was an experiment, that I am going to write a book, that I am coming back, but it's not going to be on this same type of platform, because we have to do better. It's sad and it's funny. I don't like laughing at my people. I know the brains we have on us. They don't. It's all about exposure. What were you exposed to as a child that made you the type of person that you are today? What are you exposing yourself to now? Doesn't that Bible say that the Most High is the universe? We're connected to the universe. It's so plain. Any full moon, the murder rate goes up, arrests go up, more people are committed to mental institutions. That's a fact. Right now in Brazil, the Amazon is burning on purpose to make land to grow. The Amazon provides 20% of the oxygen. There are plants in the Amazon that man doesn't even know about that could possibly heal cancer, heal Alzheimer's, heal mental illness. There are insects that man doesn't know about that now these young kids are protesting because it's their world now. It's not our world. It's their world now. That if they continue to burn the Amazon, how are you going to breathe? So I'm in my right frame of mind. This is not a sitcom. This is not a joke. It's a cry out for black people to get out of that dream that Martin Luther King had. He didn't expect for us to stay asleep. To find out who you are. Because if we don't do anything, genocide is happening right now, right before your eyes. But we can't see it. You can kill a person's spirit with words. Let someone get hold to a child at a young age and tell them what they can't do, what they're not going to be able to do, that they're not smart enough to do. You just killed their spirit. So we have to be careful with our words. You're going to go in your house. We have to be careful with our words, and we have to be careful with our deeds. So no, I'm not here to play with nobody. I just, like I said, in all my years on this earth, I have never seen so many blacks that sit up and spew the hatred towards one another and then be hypocritical and say we love one another. Baby, I stopped putting any man-made substance in my body when I was 27. That was way over 30 years ago. But to see this so-called content and to see the majority, at least 98% are women on here tearing one another down. Just like I did a video and I mentioned the RICO law. See, women we nosy. We like to gossip. When I mentioned the RICO law, because someone didn't know about the RICO law, they thought I was talking about Rico and Wiley. And put in the comments, what did RICO do now? That I want to go through the screen and grab them by their throat. So, no. I don't smoke no ooh-wee. I don't waste my money on that crap. It helps with the pain, and it helps to relax me. I have a 27-year-old son that was born with crack, alcohol, and tobacco in his system. And he has such a rare disease that is eating up the muscles in his body that will never return. And the body is made up of bone and muscle. He didn't ask to come into this world. He has a whole family, and no one stepped up to get him. So not only was he my foster child, I adopted him. I don't have time to play. Because what's happening in this world, don't nobody have time to play. If they don't get serious now, and they don't grow up now, and they are not prepared for what's going on, and they don't see that the government got their hands in a lot of these black on black supposedly killings, then they'll never see. The books that I bought out, by the time I finished that video, I was so tired because I wanted you all to know that Shakespeare was black. They don't show you pictures of Shakespeare, but the work he did was beautiful. Everybody knows the story of Romeo and Juliet. Othello was black. Every book I posted was written by a black man or woman. But we have been conditioned that it's only so much we can learn. We've been conditioned now that we're numb to death, that kids now are seeing death right before their faces. I didn't grow up walking down the street and seeing a dead body. So no, this is not a sitcom. I'm not here to joke and play with anyone. I hope that this entire sector becomes a sector of positivity, positive energy, that we stop this back and forth beefing, the jealousy, and what I watch Sean say about Fabe, and for this gay man to put out t-shirts making fun of her breast, which he does not know is natural in women when they have children, that the breast fills with milk to nurture that new life. It's a form of bonding. To sit up and make fun of her losing a child to SIDS. For someone that's never met her and they have their perception of her, to say her parenting skills are not right. As a gay woman, you don't understand what I had to go through because of the discrimination in order to legally get power of attorney over my son. Because see, when you're born with crack, alcohol, and tobacco in your system, it affects your mind. So my son has a form of autism. My son has anxiety, both social and self-anxiety. My son is living again with a disease that could kill him. He takes chemotherapy because there is no cure to this disease, that it is slowly eating away the muscles in his body. And I'm doing everything in my power and claiming to Allah that this disease, as fast as it came upon him, that he is now almost in remission. So, baby, no, this is not a sitcom. This ain't nothing funny. Yes, it is funny to me that people will say and do anything. It's funny to me that people call this thing YouTube streets. It's funny to me that people want to declare themselves king of the street, queen of the street, call themselves she gods. It's only one Most High. He has 99 different names, but there's only one Most High. What I said about Club Chat and those flying monkeys, if they want to be nut butts and give their money away to a gay man who sued his mother, who shows you who he is, that if they want to continue living in the dark, that's on them. That if people stop speaking about it, all you're doing is giving him your energy and power. I'm not a vlogger. I don't have to get on here and share, but somebody gotta do it. Somebody gotta plant the seed for the generations to come. Or do like my generation did and failed. Those who did fight for us, those who are living in exile, because they put their lives on the line so you can have the right to have this thing called the internet. So no, that's why I came back and said I really didn't mean to laugh at you, because in their world, this is their world. But you got to learn how to separate from being in the world and not be of the world. When you become of the world, that's when that deceit, that's when that theft, that's when those lies, that's when those stunts still remain in your spirit. This wasn't an easy process for me, because I was living in it and of it to the fullest. until I realized that the words I speak, how I treat people, the deeds that I do, that when it's my time to transition, that my book of life is going to be read to me. I understand choice. I don't point a finger at anybody and blame anybody for what happens in my life. Because where you're at in life is because of the choices that you made, that we each made. So again, this was an experiment. And I will do another experiment. Because I like to see how my people think, how they've been conditioned to think, how they have been indoctrinated, how we say one thing and do another, how these are strangers, how all this was set up. You know they took psychiatrists before Facebook opened, so they can get as much information as possible, and they know what question to ask, what is on your mind. And what did we do? Spilled our guts. They gave you a platform called YouTube. What did we do with it? Rather than unifying, rather than make your plan, work your plan, we took it and we used it to tear one another down. So no, I wasn't playing. I wasn't on here to joke. Yes, it was funny as hell to me. It was funny as hell to look at some of those titles and they call it content. We're better than that, but we don't realize we better than that. I don't have to sit up in a chat and be called a whore and a bitch and a black bitch. But yet, I love black people. But I'm going to sit up and I'm going to call you a bitch, and I got to make sure I emphasize black bitch. If you don't think we better than that, okay, I know we're better than that. So, no, it wasn't a sitcom. It wasn't, to entertain anyone. I noticed the only way to get people's attention is, damn it, it hurts so bad at what we go through that we got to joke about it. Every black comedian has said that. You have to laugh to keep from crying.